She texted, "Just FYI, told everyone we're separated for now, a break, just to figure things out. Enjoy your work trip." I replied, "Thanks." Then I turned her "for now" into forever. Before we go any further, take a second to subscribe, hit the hype button and like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And tell us in the comments, what would you do in this situation? The message came through while I was standing in a hotel lobby 300 miles from home, holding a lukewarm coffee and a conference badge that read, "Daniel Hawkins, Logistics." Not Dan the doormat or Dan the idiot husband, though both would have been accurate up until that exact moment. My wife Hailey had just publicly announced our marriage was on pause, not to me privately, to everyone. Her friends, her followers, probably her yoga instructor too. The same yoga instructor she'd been sleeping with for 4 months. Yeah, I knew about Ryan Keller, knew about the afternoon sessions that ran long, the new lingerie on the credit card, the way she angled her phone away from me when texting. I'm a logistics coordinator. I notice patterns. I track things. It's literally my job to know when something doesn't add up. But I'd stayed quiet, gathered information, watched her get sloppy with her lies. Now she'd made it easy for me. I didn't call her back, didn't fire off an angry text. Instead, I opened my laptop in the hotel business center and started making calls. First call, apartment complex. Our lease was in my name only because Hailey's credit was garbage when we moved in 2 years ago. The landlord was surprisingly understanding when I explained I needed to terminate early due to separation. 30 days notice, Mr. Hawkins. Sorry to hear about your situation. Me too, I lied. Second call, bank. Redirected my direct deposit back to my personal account. No joint finances to untangle because I'd refused to combine them after she maxed out 3 credit cards before we got married. She'd called me controlling. I called it pattern recognition. Third step, I opened our shared iCloud account. She'd added me years ago so I could see her calendar, help her stay organized. Sweet, right? Except now I could see every yoga session, every dinner reservation, every tagged location with Ryan over the past 4 months. No hacking required. She'd handed me the evidence herself. I screenshot everything, saved it to 3 different drives. By the time I finished my coffee, Hailey's comfortable life had a 30-day expiration date. She just didn't know it yet. The conference lasted 3 more days. I attended every session, smiled at every networking event, and slept better than I had in months. On the final day, I got a text from Hailey's best friend, Bethany. "Hey Dan, just checking in. Hailey mentioned you two are taking space. Hope you're doing okay." Translation: I'm fishing for details to report back. I replied, "All good, taking time to figure out next steps." She sent back a heart emoji. Bethany was the one who'd encouraged Hailey to explore her options and not settle for comfortable. I had screenshots of those conversations too. Hailey had shown them to me once, laughing, not realizing I'd quietly photographed the screen. Patterns, always patterns. I got home on a Tuesday. The apartment looked the same except for one detail: Ryan's protein powder on the kitchen counter. He'd been here, in my home. I didn't touch it, just took a photo, added it to my evidence folder, and started packing. My belongings only. The TV I bought before we met, the coffee maker from my parents, the desk I'd hauled up 3 flights of stairs myself. I had receipts for everything, because that's the kind of person I am. Hailey used to mock me for keeping files. Now those files were going to bury her. She called while I was loading boxes into my car. "Dan, where are you? Your location is off." "I'm at the apartment, moving my stuff out." Silence. Then, "Wait, what? You can't just leave without talking to me." "You told everyone we're separated. I'm separating. Seemed like what you wanted." "That's not what I meant. I said we needed space, not..." "Dan, this is crazy. Can we talk about this like adults?" "Sure. You're served with divorce papers next week. We can talk through lawyers." "You're being ridiculous. I'm coming home. The lease terminates in 26 days. You should probably start looking for a place. I hung up. She called back 11 times. I blocked her number and finished packing. The next morning, I drove to Ryan's gym, not the fancy downtown location where he taught private sessions, the strip mall studio where he ran his open group classes, $20 for a drop-in session. Ryan Keller was exactly what you'd expect, 6'2", spray tan, teeth too white to be real, and the kind of motivational poster personality that made me want to commit a felony. He spotted me in the back row, and his smile faltered for half a second before sliding back into place. "Welcome, brother. First time?" "Yep." "Awesome energy. Let's get after it." The class was packed. 40 people in a space built for 25, blocked fire exits, equipment stacked against emergency doors. I counted violations while Ryan shouted about crushing your limits and becoming the alpha version of yourself. After class, I approached him with my phone out. "Hey man, great session. Mind if I get a pic for my Instagram?" He puffed up immediately. "Course, brother. Tag me." I took the photo, thanked him, and walked out. Then I called the city building inspector. "Yeah, hi. I want to report a safety violation at a commercial gym. Overcrowding, blocked exits, possible fire code violations." The inspector said they'd send someone within 48 hours. I hung up and drove to the county clerk's office to file my divorce papers. The inspector showed up during Ryan's Thursday evening class. I know because I was parked across the street, watching through the studio's glass front. The class stopped mid-burpee. Ryan's face went from confident to confused to angry in about 3 seconds. People started gathering their things. The inspector was writing on a clipboard. My phone buzzed. Hailey. I unblocked her number just to read it. "What did you do?" I didn't respond. 20 minutes later, Ryan stormed out of the studio, saw me sitting in my car, and headed straight over. I rolled down my window. "You reported me, didn't you?" "Reported what?" "Don't play games, Dan. This is harassment." "Is it harassment to care about public safety? 40 people in a room built for 20, that's dangerous." His jaw clenched. "You need to back off. This is between me and Hailey, not you and me." "Actually, it's between you and the city inspector now, and between me and Hailey's lawyers next week. You're just collateral." He reached through the window. I hit the auto-up button and his hand jerked back just before the glass caught it. He slammed his palm against the roof. "This isn't over." "Yeah, it is." I drove away. In my rearview mirror, I watched him kick the studio door. The next morning, his gym's Instagram posted an apologetic notice about a temporary closure for facility improvements. The comments were brutal, clients demanding refunds, questioning memberships, and mocking the unsafe conditions. I screenshotted everything, not because I needed proof, but to watch his downfall in real time. Hailey called again that afternoon. I ignored it. Then she texted, "We need to talk about the apartment." I answered, "Nothing to discuss. The lease ends in 24 days. She panicked, said she had nowhere to go, no money for a deposit, Ryan wasn't paying her back, and she just cleared her credit card. I reminded her I'd already given the legally required notice. She begged for 2 more months. I refused. "So you can keep sleeping with Ryan in the bed I paid for?" Hard pass. She insisted things with Ryan weren't even good. She started crying, real tears this time, and said I was enjoying this. I told her I wasn't enjoying anything, just refusing to solve her problems anymore. Then I hung up. Bethany called me that afternoon. "Dan, you need to stop this. Hailey's a mess." She made her choices, Beth. She's my friend. I'm not going to stand by while you ruin her life over a mistake. Interesting. You encouraged the mistake. Now you want me to absorb the consequences? That's not, you're twisting things. I have the screenshots of you telling her to leave me. Want me to post them? Silence on the other end. Then, you wouldn't. Try me. You told her I was boring, remember? That she deserved someone who made her feel alive. That Ryan was exactly what she needed. Ring any bells? That was private. So was my marriage. Didn't stop you from interfering. She hung up. 2 hours later, Hailey called from a restricted number. Bethany says you threatened her. I stated a fact. If she feels threatened by the truth, that's on her. Dan, what happened to you? This isn't who you are. You're right. The old me would have believed your lies, paid for your mistakes, and let you walk all over me. The new me? I'm done being a doormat. So you're just going to destroy everything? I'm not destroying anything. I'm removing myself from your chaos. Big difference. The landlord says we have 3 weeks to move out. I can't afford a place on my own right now. Should have thought about that before the separation. This is vindictive. You're being cruel. I'm being clear. You wanted this. I wanted space, not homelessness. Figure it out. You're a digital marketing consultant. Market yourself into a solution. I hung up and blocked the restricted number. The next day, I went back to the apartment while Hailey was at some meeting. I needed to document what was mine before she tried claiming otherwise. I walked through each room with my phone camera rolling, narrating every item. Coffee maker, purchased March 2019, receipt in file. Television, purchased December 2018, receipt in file. Desk, purchased June 2020, receipt in file. Ryan's protein powder was still on the counter. So were his workout gloves, his deodorant in the bathroom. The guy had practically moved in. I left everything exactly where it was and kept filming. In the bedroom, I found one of Ryan's tank tops on my side of the bed. My side. I picked it up with 2 fingers like it was contaminated, held it up to the camera and said, Exhibit F, found on my side of the marital bed. Then I dropped it back on the pillow and left. Ryan's gym reopened 12 days later with half the equipment and new occupancy limits. His Instagram engagement dropped 60%. Hailey moved in with Bethany, which lasted exactly 9 days before Bethany kicked her out over unpaid groceries and bad energy. Then came the work situation. Hailey had been contracting with a mid-sized startup for the past year. Good money, flexible hours, let her work remotely with Ryan in the afternoons. What she didn't know was that her company had a strict policy against contractors dating other contractors or employees. Ryan had been consulting there too, running mindset coaching workshops for their sales team. Someone tipped off HR, someone who had access to both their public social media posts, showing them together at company events, someone who understood corporate policy handbooks. Hailey called me crying. They terminated my contract. They said it was a conflict of interest. Did you do this? I don't work for your company, Hailey. I have no access to their HR department. But I didn't do anything. Maybe you should have been more careful about posting couple photos at company events. She sobbed. I have nothing left. You have Ryan. Ryan's blaming me for his gym problems. He says I brought chaos into his life. I almost laughed. Almost. Sounds like you two are perfect for each other. Dan, please, can we just talk, face to face? I'll see you in court. I hung up. The divorce papers were served 3 days later. Hailey showed up at my new apartment unannounced the next evening. I opened the door with the chain still on. We're not doing this. 5 minutes, please. Against my better judgment, I let her in. She looked terrible. Hair unwashed, eyes puffy, none of the polished image she usually projected. I made a mistake, she said. I got caught up in something stupid, and I hurt you. But you're destroying my entire life, Dan. That's not who you are. You're right. The old me would have forgiven you, paid your rent, and let you walk all over me again. But I'm done being that person. So you're just going to ruin me? I didn't ruin anything. I removed my support. There's a difference. Ryan's threatening to sue you for harassment. Let him. I've documented every legal action I've taken. I reported legitimate safety violations. I filed for divorce. I terminated a lease in my name. He can waste his money on lawyers if he wants. She stared at me. I don't even recognize you. Good. She left without another word. 3 weeks later, Ryan posted an event for a rooftop networking mixer at some trendy lounge downtown. Rebuilding, reconnecting, rising up, or some garbage like that. Hailey commented with fire emojis. I bought a ticket. The venue was packed with Ryan's remaining clients, some local influencers, and people who probably just wanted free drinks. Ryan was holding court near the bar, back in his element, loud and performative. Hailey stood next to him in a dress I'd never seen, laughing at something he said. I walked in wearing my best suit. Ryan spotted me immediately. His smile evaporated. What are you doing here? Public event. I bought a ticket. Hailey turned pale. Dan, don't do this. Do what? I'm just here to network. Ryan stepped forward. You need to leave. Or what? You'll call security at your own event and make a scene? People were starting to watch. That's when the sheriff's deputy walked in, scanning the crowd. He approached our little group. Hailey Hawkins? She nodded, confused. You've been served. He handed her an envelope. Divorce petition and property settlement. Sign for receipt, please. Her hands shook as she signed. Every eye in the place was on us. Ryan's face went from angry to humiliated in seconds. Dan, you planned this. I plan to legally serve my wife divorce papers. Yes. Ryan grabbed my shoulder. Get out. Now. I brushed his hand off. Don't touch me. He pushed me. Not hard, but enough that people gasped. I didn't push back, didn't swing, just sidestepped his next shove and delivered one open-handed slap across his face. The sound echoed. Ryan stumbled backward, more from shock than force, and tripped over someone's bag. He fell straight into the rooftop pool, fully clothed, arms flailing. The crowd erupted in laughter. He surfaced, sputtering, and tried to climb out with whatever dignity he had left. There was none. Then I heard sirens. Not for us. For the building inspector who'd just arrived downstairs because someone had reported that Ryan's studio was operating under a suspended license out of the same building. Ryan's phone buzzed with the notification. I watched his face go from wet to white. A tow truck rolled up to the curb visible from the rooftop. Ryan's illegally parked car, the one with expired tags I'd quietly reported, was being hooked up. No, no, no. He started toward the exit, dripping pool water. I pulled the apartment key from my pocket and placed it on the nearest table. Hailey, your 30 days are up tomorrow. Leave the key in the drop box. She just stared at me, holding the divorce papers, mascara running. I looked at Ryan, soaked and broken. I don't do for now, I said. I do forever. Then I turned and walked toward the exit as the door closed behind me.